T-Dog, J-Boy, and me, I'm Lugs. Our pride and joy is pumping our mugs. Be careful, kids, it could get rough. We're flipping our lids on sports and other stuff. Welcome to Sport Weasel Central. I'm Lugs.
I'm J-Boy.
And I'm T-Dog.
Yes, sir. This is Sports and Other Stuff. Taxi tested tough in Alaska. How about that? So the NFL Super Wild Card Weekend is in the books with a few surprises. We'll break down the games and forecast the next round, all for you on this podcast. Lugs, T-Dog, good to see you, boys. Let's go. First question, did anything surprise you from these 6 opening round games?
My only real surprise was how well Buffalo did. I was shocked. Has the Belichick mystique, has that been put to bed now?
Whoa.
That was just a beat down as far as the early surprise for me. And then I'll just say quickly, my second surprise was how poorly Arizona played.
Wow.
To sort of bookend the weekend. But those are my 2 surprises.
T-Dog.
The biggest surprise for me was similar to what Lug said, is just how Buffalo just destroyed New England. I don't think Belichick forgot how to coach. I just think Josh Allen entering this year 4, obviously there was a little few bumps during the season, but particularly, it's weird. Particularly, I think it started with the Buccaneers game. They started to really allow him to use his legs again, it felt like, and that just unlocked the rest of the offense. And obviously, he's had Diggs was the big guy last year who really helped take Josh Allen to the elite level last year. But this year, you sprinkle in Dawson Knox really coming on as just this red zone machine in terms of touchdown as a tight end. A guy it feels like in the second game against New England, who they really started using, Isaiah McKenzie, he's just pure speed that gives them a counter to Diggs and just speed. And they have Emmanuel Sanders, the solid veteran, and also a thing that took them till late in the season. No offense to Zach Moss, but they finally realized late in the season, Devin Singletary is a very good running back. And he started playing like at least a top 10 level running back for Buffalo. So it just put their all. Think about this, guys. Buffalo did not have a 4th down in the game.
Crazy.
So
they scored on every drive, essentially.
Except for when they kneeled it down. That they did score on every drive. Yeah.
I heard it referred to today as a perfect game, like bowling a 300 game. Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator, bowled a 300 game of bowling.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I got to say, but I will. The hoodie doesn't need any defense from me, but I will say this: he didn't have the horses to play that game. They just don't have any skill position players that are at that level. They're just not there.
Well, I guess that was the other surprise too. I thought, again, not that he played great. I thought Mac Jones would be there undoing. And sure, he had 2 picks, but for the most part, Mac Jones played solid, considering kind of like what Lugs is saying, considering if you look at their wide receiver talent around them, there is no Stephon Diggs. I don't even think there's an Isaiah McKenzie or even a Gabriel Davis. I know that's kind of poo-pooing everyone, Kendrick Bourne and whatnot. I'm not saying they're not talented, but I'm saying the upside of any of those 3 guys for Buffalo is higher than any of the 3 guys for, I think, New England. So,
yeah. And the other sort of strange game to me was the Dallas Cowboys San Francisco game. It felt like from the get-go, San Francisco was going to win that, but then the Cowboys come back there at the end, explain a quarterback draw with 14 seconds.
I can't.
It just made no sense to me. You take shots at the end zone. If I'm there, you got to do it.
But it didn't matter because Jerry's face didn't change a bit because of all the surgery looking from the booth. What do you say, dog?
Yeah, the San Francisco game, I think for the most part, it was the one where the lower seed, I think it was the only one where the lower seed, pretty much a lot of people had the 49ers winning. Because I think in terms of roster construction and mainly coaching, they're just better than Dallas. And you saw it on that first drive. I mean, San Francisco scored a rushing touchdown with Elijah Mitchell on the first drive. And they really kind of controlled and dictated the game. And if you really think about it, again, I hate like just completely flaming on the Cowboys. But I mean, I don't even know if they get back in that game if Bosa doesn't get injured and if Fred Warner, the linebacker for the 49ers, the two best players on defense for the 49ers, not to say they don't have other talents. If they don't get injured, I don't even know if Cowboys even start to scratch back into it. So
yeah, and so many penalties by the Cowboys. So many stupid penalties.
I was going to say just stupid. The one guy, I've forgotten his name, the right defensive end, tackled a guard.
Randy Gregory.
Yeah, it was like,
for no reason.
You're not even close to where the play is. Why are you doing this? Yeah.
And again, not that San Francisco really didn't get Kittle going, but for the most part, when you go in the playoffs, you try to feed your best players. Elijah Mitchell, who as a rookie has played really well. They gave him 27 carries. I know the yards per carry weren't great, but he got to control the game for him. Debo, he had 72 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown and 38 yards receiving. So he went over 100.
He's the X factor, man. He's crazy.
He is the most enjoyable player to watch in the NFL right now.
I totally agree. I mean,
he's not doing end arounds. That's the thing is I love Jamar Chase, but if you watch Jamar Chase run in the backfield in the Raiders game, they just were doing end arounds. No, like Debo lines up as a running back like an I form and just explodes. I mean, that his rushing touchdown, he took it outside and then he sliced back inside and then he knifed in between two DBs.
And then he's the fastest guy in the field after all that when he breaks it all down.
And to me, he is truly a running back. I mean, yes, he's a receiver officially, but there's no messing around with him when it comes time to get the yardage that they need. He does it. He really does.
Well, he was quoted the week prior to the game. He was quoted as saying he came up with the new term. He's a wide back. So,
okay,
yeah,
that so almost sounds like a Maddenism.
Yeah.
Hey, tough acting. Go ahead. Bengals.
Let's talk a little bit of Bengals. Yeah.
What the heck?
Talking about having a perfect game, pretty much. Joe Burrow, I poo-pooed him for not having an S on the end of his name for a long time.
Yeah,
but he and Jamar Chase, that's something special.
Yeah, well, T-Dog and I are founding, charter members of the Joe Burrow Fan Club, LLC, and it's working. What do you think? I mean, amazing. The Bengals are for real.
I think the craziest thing is, I think the only reason that the game was even kind of tight on the back end, not to take away from the Raiders who, were able to, claw into the playoffs. I believe they won 4 or did they win 5 overtime games during the regular season, which is just
crazy,
incredible.
Yeah.
But I don't think the game would have even been close. And again, I think Zach Taylor did a good job this year, but I still think I get he's inexperienced in the playoffs, but if you have a talent the level of Joe Burrow and it's like 4th and 1, again, just allow them to go 5 receivers. Like it's the man, even though he's only 25 in his second year, he has such a high level of intelligence and just able to just have ice in his veins. Just allow him to go out, play how they played against Kansas City. Just keep attacking. That's how they should play. And they played kind of conservative, and that kind of almost came back to bite them. Mm-hmm. But luckily, the better team won, in my opinion.
Keep the energy up. All right, let's talk about that 7-seed Philadelphia Eagles versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. They should not have been in the playoffs, the Eagles. Come on. That's an embarrassment.
Well, yeah, I'd have to say that Jalen Hurts, that did it for him. He's done.
You think he's out of here? What are they going to do? What are they going to do?
I don't know, but that was just I just was I felt sorry for him, and that's sad when you feel sorry for an NFL quarterback. It was just sad to watch that all go down. Uh, it wasn't even as close as that score said. I mean, they never had a shot. I was just shocked by that.
Yeah, to be fair to what Lug said, they scored 15 unanswered points in the fourth quarter,
Right.
where the Tampa had already scored 31 points, and Tampa was just trying to kill the clock. Um, Jalen Hurts. I mean, look, I get he was feisty. I don't know if you all heard the quote where Troy Aikman was mad that he didn't get to do the Cowboys 49ers game. But, it's not
I did.
it's not his or Joe Buck's fault. It's not that quality. It's just CBS paid more money than Fox to get the 4:30 game, and the 4:30 game gets a better game than the 1:00 game.
Always.
So, but he was particularly testy, and I think the thing I like about Troy Aikman is he doesn't even hide when how he feels anymore. Like Jalen Hurts missed certain throws. He's like, you got to be able to make that in the NFL. Like you can't miss a throw that easy. That's a bunny, or roughly close to that. It's like, damn, just roasting Jalen Hurts.
A bunny.
He's having a hard enough game, but I credit him because he was clearly playing through. His ankle wasn't right. He was in a walking boot, and he talked about like how he got injured during the season and never really healed, so he was playing hurt. But kind of like what you all said, even though he had moments this season, they have 3 first-round picks, and I think they will possibly spend one on a quarterback. Again, I'm not going to act like I know if any of these quarterbacks are good. This was not like last year's class where 5 went in the first round.
Right.
So I don't know, or maybe they try to get Deshaun Watson if he's willing to go there, because obviously he has to be willing to go there. But kind of like you all said, like it's unfortunate that the Eagles got in. Credit to the Bucks. I mean, Brady played, efficiently. Keyshawn Vaughn and Giovanni Bernard, they kind of were mushed together, and they made it a half decent running game. And then Mike Evans. I mean, he's the only top tier wide receiver they have healthy.
Mm-hmm.
How did you not try to double team him? I don't know, from the Eagles. And then also go back and watch that Gronk touchdown. How do you leave Gronk wide open, no one covering in the end zone?
So his USAA commercials he's doing, they didn't see him, I guess, because he's not qualified. I don't know. Just a thought on that. I don't know.
But
I don't know.
I think Tampa, it's hard to beat the Bills, what the Bills did and KC did, but low key, just did what they're supposed to against an inferior opponent. Just a TCB,
right? TCB with a flash.
Respect to Elvis, just taking care of business.
That's right.
That's all they were.
All right, that other 7th seed. Talk quickly about the Chiefs and the Steelers. Another one that was kind of a beatdown from the get-go.
Boy, that was just a goodbye. That was the swan song for Roethlisberger. But I got to say, the Chiefs did not just blow them out. It was a moment, but anyway, good enough swan song for Roethlisberger, and nobody's doubting that he's gone. He's not even saying anything.
He's not denying or anything. You're right.
I don't think he should. He shouldn't go to another team and pull a Joe Montana. Just go ahead and bow out graciously and live life well.
Obviously he had a great career, but honestly, his last great year was 2018, and then he obviously had the horrific arm injury in 2019. He came back last year. He played solid. I'm not taking away, but his yards per attempt these last 3 years was 5.7 in 2019 when he had the arm injury, 6.3 yards per pass attempt in 2020, and 6.2 yards per pass attempt this year. I mean, you want to at least hit that 7 or above to be a good quality quarterback. And actually, in the first half, he threw